So, do you believe there are life on other planets?
I do believe that there's life on other planets because we can't possibly be the only planet in this whole universe that supports life. I mean, if you look at the evidence, they have found evidence on Mars that supports it once supported life at one point. It doesn't anymore because the atmosphere is just too thin and too inhospitable for life right now.
But what if the aliens actually get adapted? Like we adapt to like our climate, our temperatures, different areas. We start adapting, correct?
That's true. So maybe there are still aliens on Mars. You never know, but they haven't seen. I mean, there's a Mars rover up there right now, and it hasn't run into any aliens. So, but maybe. I mean, you never know. But like I said, they have found evidence of fossils up there. You know,
of a life existing before.
and even riverbeds on Mars. So I do believe that there is life on other planets. Now, whether it's in our solar system, I don't think that there's life in our solar system, but I do believe that there's life in other
But
parts
do you
of the universe.
believe they come and visit Earth?
Now, that's a whole different story. I mean, if you believe other people, I have never personally seen a UFO or UAP, as they're calling them now.
And what is the difference between UFOs and UAPs? But hold on. We need to stop there because we're going into, and we haven't even introduced the episode.
Yes, what is today's topic, Aalia? What are we talking about today?
Today on Dead Air Podcast, we're going to be talking about the government conspiracy revealed.
Oh, hold on. Dead Air Podcast. What are you talking about? Did we suddenly change the name of the podcast?
Yes, because of the fact that there is another Paranormal Chronicles podcast out there, which I did not want to get in trouble, so I changed the name to Dead Air Podcast. Why not? Anyway, so today's episode, we're going to be talking about the UFOs and slash UAPs and the experiences that has been once been covered up and they are uncovering slowly by the government. So, Chad, what is the difference between the UFOs and UAPs?
Nothing, just the wording. UFO is unidentified flying object, and UAP is unidentified. Is it aerial projectile? I don't know what UAP stands for.
Aerial projectile.
I don't know what UAP stands for.
I mean, we are not in the bedroom. We're going to cut that out.
You know, there may be kids listening to this, Aalia. And I'm not cutting certain things out, just so you know. You don't rewatch these, so you don't know what I do and don't cut out.
Oh my gosh.
Just an FYI, so.
We're not.
I don't know what UAP stands for. Tell me.
UAP means unidentified anomalous object.
But it's P.
Phenomena. I had a space moment.
Okay. Phenomena. Unidentified anomalous phenomena.
Yes.
Okay, there we go. We've got that straight now.
That took a long time.
All right. Now that we're like 10 minutes of the podcast, here we go.
So why do you think they changed the name from UFOs to UAPs? Your best guess.
Politically correct?
Possibly. It kind of removes the stigma of the UFOs because back in the 50s, UFOs, an unidentified flying object, can only be pertaining to the air kind of thing, flying. Whereas aliens that visit us and or the encounters that a lot of people have can be either water, air, or even land. So anomalous meaning that it can all encompass all experiences.
I mean, that makes sense because a lot of people say that they see stuff in the water or on land. You know, they've walked up and saw, like Bigfoot, for instance. That could be an alien.
Oh,
I mean,
that's
they
true.
say it's a cryptid. It's lived here on the Earth for hundreds, if not thousands of years, but who knows? It could be an alien visiting the Earth.
They've said that a Bigfoot is an interdimensional being. So I believe even aliens can be interdimensional because we don't see them all the time. I mean, granted, they may have the ability to cloak themselves. You know, Star Trek, of course, the reference. Yeah. You know,
I
always
got
have
it.
to.
I got it.
Always have to.
Yep, I got you.
Anyway, so when did you start believing that there's something out there that's other than us in this universe, and that's coming and happening here on Earth?
Probably when I was growing up and my parents were watching Star Trek.
What do you mean?
So when we were watching Star Trek, I was fascinated by the show. It was even before I watched Star Wars, even though Star Wars was older. Was it older? I don't know.
It is older. No,
No,
Star Trek
is
older.
started in the 60s.
Yep, in the 60s.
Star Trek came out in the 70s.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, but I was watching Star Trek with my parents because my dad and mom actually both like Star Trek. But
what? That's news to me. I didn't know Mom wanted it
well, my dad was the bigger fan, but my
okay.
mom watched it just because
alongside him.
she didn't want to fight with him over the TV. But kind of
You
like
do
what we do now. Yeah. But you know, I'd watch it and we'd see the aliens on Star Trek and I'd be like, I wonder if there's aliens here on Earth. And I would think to myself, like, I bet there probably is. And, you know, back then we didn't have the internet or anything. But I was like, I bet that there's probably been aliens.
Oh, no, we had the internet. It was like the dial-up.
No, this was still in the 80s even, when I was still a kid.
Yeah, okay.
So the internet was still infantile. Like, we didn't have internet at home yet.
That was more like government.
Yeah. We didn't have internet at home yet.
It's true. That's true.
So I was still, I thought to myself, like,
we are old.
I was like, I bet that there's probably aliens that probably come here to Earth, but I had no way of looking it up or proving it. There were encyclopedias back then. If you don't know what encyclopedias are, Google it and do some research and look it up.
Maybe use an encyclopedia to look up encyclopedia.
If you can find them anymore.
Oh my gosh.
I don't even know if they exist anymore.
I used to have a set of encyclopedias. Just
Encyclopedia Britannica I had.
No, it's recently to punish my kids if they didn't do their work. And it's like, here you go. If I couldn't trust them on the computers in the classroom, it's like, here's your book. It's called the encyclopedia. That's all the information you need.
I had the Encyclopedia Britannica, but I didn't have all the letters. I only had B and N.
They were expensive.
They were super expensive. I only had like 4 or 5 of the letters out of the 26 that you needed for a full alphabet. So it really didn't mean not a lot of good.
Anyways, we're getting off topic now. So.
Anyways.
So back when you first believed that there are people or things visiting us.
Yeah, I did a little research at school. Newspapers, you could see some stuff in newspapers about what people said that they thought. You know, they would do some news articles and stuff like that. And that's kind of where I got my start at. How about you?
Well, I'm still on the fence. I mean, like, I've not had any experience in regards to seeing a flying object or an experience a being that's walking around, pretty much. Mm-hmm. But I have known and seen evidence via other third parties that you can't really explain. So I believe there's something out there. Whether or not, why would they be interested in Earthlings? I don't know. I feel like we were not very entertaining enough for them to come and visit, or advanced enough.
Well, maybe they're like a third grader who's interested in ants. You know, like they have a magnifying glass.
Ants to them?
Yeah. You know, like they have a magnifying glass and they're just burning them to see what happens.
Oh my God,
like
they are not burning us.
You don't know what they do to us when they abduct us and take us up in their spacecraft?
Do you think they abduct us? Come on.
I mean, according to some people, yes, they do abduct people.
Well, anywho, so I've never actually experienced it firsthand, but through evidence, through third parties or whatnot, and credible sources too. So I kind of believe the sources. So I wouldn't like just carte blanche just believe someone because they decide to be popular or want to be popular. But yeah, I mean, it was, I don't know, a few years ago that I kind of started to believe just the plethora of evidence and stuff. So
Aalia, we all know about Area 51 out in Nevada and how popular that was, especially back in the 90s.
Oh, we can't talk about Area 51. It is top secret.
Well, yeah, but we all know about it anyway. But, you know, that kind of died down. But why are UFOs and aliens coming back into the forefront of people's minds now?
So
what happened recently? So
recently, through the act of complete transparency, President Trump had ordered the government, Air Force, the military to actually release all the documents of all the encounters that they had in the past up until just recently, to show the public that the government is transparent. And it's actually pretty interesting because, like, there are objects, and through these files that I've been reading, the last one I read was just essentially recent. It was last year that they released it, and they were releasing in batches. And mind you, they're not redacting these files, which is kind of cool because if you're one conspiracy theorist or you just love a good mystery, these files are really good to read.
Now, a little caveat to that. If you watch, so these files that they're dropping, they are releasing videos too. The videos are redacted because there's some sensitive military stuff on these videos. Like on the screens, they have like, I don't know, coordinates or something.
Yeah.
And they put the black bars on there so you don't, like our enemies can't see what the military sees. So the videos are redacted if you do decide to watch the videos. So parts of it are redacted, but the files she's read are not redacted. They're full pages that you can read. It's actually really cool, and there are hundreds, if not thousands, of pages that they're releasing.
And they were about to release a second batch of thousands of files just in the encounter of different unidentified anomalous phenomena.
Well, as of recording, they've released 2 batches now, right? They're going to release a 3rd batch pretty soon now.
Yep. So it is crazy. We're going to put one file up on the screen here. And this one, I mean, granted, the files are not redacted. That doesn't pertain any kind of location or anything like that. So that's why these files are not redacted. Obviously, if you were going to redact it, they're going to redact the sensitive information to our government. But in order to be full transparent, this is actually a slow move for the government. So I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments about this move from the government. Do you think is it in a good trust that they're doing it, or are they trying to hide something else and kind of a sleight of hand, like a, what is that called?
Sleight of hand. Showing you one thing over here
Yeah.
to distract from something else over here.
Yeah. So is this just a move, just a sleight of hands, just to kind of get our attention away from what they're doing?
Are they distracting from something else that we want to actually happen?
Exactly. So anyways, this file that we just showed you, it is from Navy pilots that are encountering a UAP, and it tells you step by step what they were doing. Okay, so one of the awesome footage that's being released is called the Tic Tac, that shows the Tic Tac UFO. You know, this is essentially a flying object in a Tic Tac shape, and apparently it had no wings and actually accelerated really fast.
This is like tic-tac-toe?
Yes.
Okay.
So that's why it's called the Tic Tac UFO, because I believe is in a shape of a tic-tac-toe.
Tic Tac UAP?
No, it's a UFO because it's flying.
Oh, okay.
UAP is anomalous. That can pertain to any kind of thing other than flying.
Okay.
So UFO, we can honestly say that.
Okay.
Oh, goodness gracious. But anywho, the incident acceleration of this object, and it moved in a certain way that was unlike any other flying objects that we are used to or have here in the U.S. So why are military pilots a reputable source of these information, Chad?
Probably because they're up there all the time, whether on training missions or actual missions, flying in our skies, in enemy skies, and over the oceans. They're up there constantly on training missions and regular missions, and they probably see the most of the skies over anybody. The only people that might rival what they see are commercial airline pilots who fly all the time. But even commercial airline pilots, Navy and Air Force pilots, they fly over restricted airspace as well that commercial airline pilots can't fly over. So they see a lot more of the sky than commercial airline pilots do.
So they're more like the experienced observers, like they're able to observe certain, and they're trained to observe, have that sharp observation skills.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. So
they're trained to observe and see what's going on around them and make sure that nobody's trailing them. And they're nothing against commercial airline pilots, but commercial airline pilots kind of fly by their instruments. They don't fly by their windows, looking out their windows to see what's going on. Whereas Navy pilots and Air Force pilots, they fly by their windows by looking around to see what's going on.
I mean, they're trained for battle or combat kind of thing, so they may have to make sure where the enemies are.
They use their instruments, but they still, look around their cockpits and their windows and see what's going on around their environment to see if there's any aircraft that their instruments may not be picking up because it's a stealth aircraft or whatever.
And also the radio commissions that they use are a little bit top of the line because of the fact that we are, we do go into battle and they have to have the best equipment to rely on. So for them to have those type of equipments, and that kind of picks up the radio waves or the radar sensors kind of thing. So that's actually kind of contributes to the thing. So, and also we have actually multiple government officials, military officials to be witnesses of these different types of events or encounters of the third kind. So, all right. So what is creepier, knowing that there are aliens or knowing that the government officials who actually have authority don't know what exactly they are?
I mean, I don't know if it's creepier. I would say it's concerning and scarier that the government has no idea what they are or that they're even here.
Why?
Because they don't know what they are or who they are, I guess you can say, or to potentially how to protect us if they are evil aliens, like in the movies that we see. Like Mars Attacks.
That's a horrible movie to even compare
it is,
to.
but it's a hilarious movie. Come on.
It is hilarious. So dumb, though.
I mean, obviously, nothing like that has happened, and hopefully nothing like that will ever happen. But, I mean, hopefully our government has some kind of inkling or idea of what these aliens may or may not be doing here, and has some kind of contingency or plan on what to do if they are ever here for nefarious reasons. What are your thoughts?
I feel like it's creepier that we actually have aliens here, just because of the fact that, like, I don't know, because they're unknown. Okay. And everything that's unknown is scarier.
So I have a question for you.
Even though we investigate the unknown, but.
So I have a question for you. You're a history teacher and you love history. Looking back at history, especially at like the ancient Egyptians and even like the Mayans and stuff, they have a lot of hieroglyphs and writings.
Hieroglyphs.
There you go. And writings about. They think they're gods, but there's also some people that think that they may be aliens or extraterrestrials that came down and helped them build the pyramids or help their civilizations to grow and prosper. So obviously these ancient civilizations that we have no idea how they even survived way back then.
Right.
Had some kind of help from maybe an extraterrestrial. So do you think that maybe these aliens were here in our world way back then? I
don't believe so. I mean, like, there are so many conspiracy theories about how the pyramids were built and in line with the stars, which obviously these aliens are coming from the stars and aligning certain, I don't know, constellations, I guess. However, knowing history, a lot of civilization based on the cosmos, regardless. So it wouldn't be a stretch that these pyramids were in line with a certain constellation and myths and the religious beliefs that were reliant on these constellations as well. I mean, it's about our religions today too. I mean, where they all come from. I mean, there's a certain point of the beginning of each religion anyways, whether or not they're fact-based or whatever, it started somewhere. However, I don't believe aliens were pertaining to that. And with these rulers or pharaohs or what have you, these humans who believe that there were gods relied on or started, or the origins started on the religion. I mean, we look in the Middle Ages, like kings and queens, kings specifically because of it was male dominated. They believed they were divinely chosen to lead. That they were believed that no, they weren't gods, but God had chosen them to lead. I mean, we can say the gods or the God were aliens saying, "Hey, come and you're going to be the leader of this country," kind of thing. So we can always pull that stretch there too. So I don't believe that aliens were involved at all.
Okay.
I mean, they seem very advanced for their civilization at that time, but like I said in the beginning, all civilization, all people start adapting and finding ways to adapt to their surroundings or inventing things too. So it's like the wheel from the caveman who wanted to move something easy. Where did it all begin? Curiosity.
Okay.
So I know it was very, very in-depth, historian-based.
Kind of rambling a little bit.
It was not rambling at all. It was all history-based information. But anywho, so recently there are a lot of whistleblowers that are coming forth, government whistleblowers. And what is a whistleblower?
Somebody who comes forward and says that something's not right and I want to tell the truth. And even though I'll probably get in trouble for it, this is not right. Let's tell everybody about it.
So in a school term, tattlers.
Yeah, pretty much.
Tailors.
Yep. Snitches get stitches kind of thing.
Maybe. But just recently, there were congressional hearings that were being done. David Grush, which is one of the whistleblowers, he was in the military and came forth saying that the government had secret programs for these unidentified anomalous phenomenon, that they had programs to remove non-human things, entities, from the grounds and hide them from the public. I mean, we're talking about Area 51 here, which is very famous. How many do you think we have? Not just one base? Multiple?
Dozens, I think.
I feel like we have dozens.
Dozens. I mean, if you look at any U.S. military base, I still think that there are at least half a dozen that are unmarked and hidden that the general public have no idea about. Our enemies like Russia and China who have satellites and spy satellites, they probably know about them because they can look at them from space. But unless you happen to drive right by it and see the gates, we have no idea where any of these bases are.
I mean, maybe some of the bases don't have the gates because they don't want to draw the attention.
That's true. It could just be a fenced-off area that says, nuclear facility or school for children. Who knows?
Exactly. Or, just like the Supernatural, the men of letters.
Yeah. Unless you happen to see a military vehicle driving in there, you never know what it is. So.
And who knows that they're going to drive a military vehicles because those things really draw attention, kind of thing. So, but we're not saying that every claim is true.
No.
It is out there, and it is definitely strange that a high-ranking intelligence officer came forward and saying, "Hey, this is happening in our country. Let's take notice," kind of thing.
Kind of like the Edward Snowden thing of the NSA.
Exactly. Oh, I remembered. Man, I feel so old. That was a long time ago.
It was during Obama's presidency, not that long ago.
That was a long time ago.
I guess.
Anyway, so along with those hearings that are coming to light with David Grush and stuff like that, the documents that are being jumped as well. The file that we showed earlier actually kind of tells about the pilots identifying something on the thermal camera and following in a lower orbit, and they were following it It was actually pretty cool kind of thing to read. So if these are all explainable, all of the experiences are explainable, how come there are so many cases that are unexplained or classified and or unresolved?
Are they all really explainable though?
I don't. That's what I'm saying. Like, if they are explainable, then why are they working hard to classify all these experiences?
So I feel like they're classifying them because they can't explain them. I mean, if you talk to even commercial airline pilots, like, I don't personally know any commercial airline pilots, but I know some that are third-party friends, friend of a friend, and just talking to them about some things that they've seen while flying, they're like, I can't explain these things I've seen. They're like, flashes across the sky or things that are setting off my instruments that should not be setting off my instruments. And they're like, they're not birds, they're not other planes, they're not other things. So I think there are things that the government can't explain, things that the pilots can't explain, things that the pilots and the government are seeing, they're catching on radar, things that they're catching on satellite, things that the pilots are seeing themselves and chasing, like you said, flying after for a while, and these things are flying erratically, things that our planes can't do, and they can't explain it. So that's why they're classifying them.
So I know one of my friends, Chris, from Beyond the Normal podcast or radio, our brother podcast show, he also had experienced a UFO, I believe, when he was on the ambulance, and he was outside waiting for a call, and he looks up and he saw one. He goes, he couldn't explain what it was. So, he actually is a pretty good, reliable source because he normally doesn't really...
He doesn't make stuff up.
No, he doesn't exaggerate. He doesn't make anything up. So if you are ever finding yourself to find another podcast except for this one, Beyond the Radio radio show.
Beyond the Normal radio show.
Oh, Beyond the Normal. Mm-hmm. What did I say?
Beyond the radio show.
Oh my God, it's been a long day already.
We'll link it down in the description.
Yeah, Beyond the Normal radio show. That is our brother podcaster. So give him a like, give him a follow as well. They're pretty cool people. So
now the other thing too, though, is that if the government came out and just declassified all this stuff at once, which they're kind of doing right now, think about how scared everybody would be. Mm-hmm. Like if they just, they are declassifying it all right now, but like it's not super easy to find. Like you have to go out there and actually search for it. Mm-hmm. But if they came out there on like the mainstream media and said, "Hey, there are aliens out here. Here's all of our proof. Here you go. Look at it. Go through it."
Are they doing it now? Granted, President Trump was saying that he wants the full transparency. Is it because the whistleblowers are coming out?
So I think it's partly because of that, but it's also, I think, because President Trump has said in his campaigns, he's living up to a partial campaign promise of saying that he's...
We're not aligned with any kind of political party.
No,
so.
But he is living up to a campaign promise of saying that the government's going to be more transparent and stop hiding stuff from the public, which is what he said. He's going to drain the swamp. Now, whether or not you believe that he's actually doing that is up for you to decide on yourself. Right. We all have our own opinions on that.
And we accept all political thoughts here, but obviously, please be nice. We are not going to handle that.
No fighting in the comments about this.
No.
But, however, I do believe that releasing these classified documents is one step towards doing that. But at the same step, like I was saying, if the government came out and said, we believe that there are aliens, here is the proof that there's aliens. Think of how scared everybody in the world would be, not just the U.S., but the world.
True.
So what they're doing right now is that they're saying, we have these phenomena that have happened throughout the years. Here's our documentation of it. Make your own decisions on what you think it is.
Kind of thing. But the thing is, like, it's so funny because I didn't realize, and they're doing it very quietly, by the way. They weren't making a huge announcement about, hey, we're going to release all these documents or all these evidence of these encounters. Now they didn't go on the TV at the State of the Union address or anything like that to say, hey, this is what we're doing. go and take a look. I literally had to research, and I just happened to find a government site saying, hey, these are the files that we just released. Expect another batch coming out. I'm like, what the heck? When did this happen? So they're doing it quietly.
No, they said that they're doing it, but it was like a footnote on a press release that the press secretary for the president did. It wasn't a big major announcement. It was just like, oh, by the way, we're releasing all the UFO or UAP documentation in the coming week.
Exactly.
Or whatever it is that they did it.
Okay, so one of the theories, so there's multiple theories of these encounters. We're not going to go into quotes because they're encounters and we don't know what type of encounters.
Encounters of the third kind?
Not encounters of the third kind. Every time I say that, like that comes to mind. Though I've never seen that movie.
Oh, it's long. It's a decent movie. You should watch it.
I'll probably watch it like the first 10 minutes and fall asleep again.
It's typical for you.
I know, right? Getting old sucks, guys.
Have you ever actually watched E.T.?
Yes, actually.
All the way through?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I mean, that was before I got old and, tired from the day. Yeah.
So a really long time ago then.
Yes, exactly. One thing closer to when it first came out, I think it was in Blockbusters. We rented it.
So the 80s then.
It's like 90s.
And it came out in the 80s, I think.
I understand that, but it's like closer to the 90s that we saw it.
Okay.
So, anyways, so the theory is classic aliens are more of the ancient civilizations that you were kind of mentioning earlier, and how that they couldn't be where they were with the technology available for them without any help. So you asked me about that. How about yourself? Like, what do you believe? Do you believe the pyramids were built by aliens?
I don't believe they were built by aliens. I believe they were built by the actual people of the time. I do believe that the people had some kind of
intervention.
Yes. Whether it was extraterrestrial or whether it was just really smart people of the time that happened to be beyond their time and beyond their intelligence for that time.
I mean, we still have those people today.
We do still have those people today.
I mean, look at Elon Musk with the Tesla.
That's true.
I'm still wanting.
We have a lot of those people today. Albert Einstein of the early 1900s. Whether it was that or it was actual extraterrestrials that came down and said, "Here's how you build these monuments." I don't know which one it was because obviously we weren't alive back then, and we'll never know unless somebody builds a time machine.
Oh my God! I wish we had a time machine. I would visit ancient Egypt.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Middle Ages. That's my era. I love to.
Middle Ages would be really stinky, and Egypt would be too hot for me. But
then you have a problem.
Yeah.
But regardless, so do you think these, let's say, UFOs or UAPs that they encountered are more government projects that they were testing out, or are they actually truly like extraterrestrial?
I think the ones that the pilots have seen are actual unexplained things that they can't explain, that the government can't even explain.
Why do you think that?
Because if the government's writing up documents saying that we can't explain this, then obviously it wasn't a military test. Because the military would know that it was a test, and they'd say, well...
Not necessarily, unless they kept it secret from them, too.
Why would the military keep a secret from themselves?
I don't know, but
exactly.
That's a good
that
possibility.
Makes no sense. That makes no sense at all.
It made sense in my brain.
It makes no sense to me. Now, some of the things that people say, especially the people that live in the desert, like California desert and Arizona desert. Now, I'm not saying that they all are all wrong, that they don't all see UFOs or UAPs. However, I'm going to say that some of them are probably military tests, because the military does do a lot of tests out there. I mean, we live here near the Great Lakes Naval Station, and we hear a lot of planes overhead that we probably shouldn't be hearing.
Do we?
I do anyway, during the day. You're at school.
Oh. Getting yelled at by like 100+ kids.
Yeah. That you probably wouldn't normally hear in this area. So, would I consider it a UAP? No, because I know that we live close to a Navy base that doesn't have a landing strip or anything, but
you never know, though.
you know, they could be taken off from O'Hare or Mitchell International Airport. Who knows?
Or even Kenosha Airport right here, the small one.
Yeah, it's kind of small, but you never know.
But you never know, though.
Yeah.
Or
So-
could it be a foreign surveillance, like you were saying, that the pilots are more dumbstruck when they encounter it? What if it was a foreign people that are testing their abilities?
You never know.
So that can be a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of an interesting theory. What do you guys think about this? And we were talking about how the Bigfoot or big feet.
Big feet.
Big feet. I really want to coin this term.
Let's
guys.
make that work, guys. Start saying big feet.
Big feet. You know, the group of Bigfoot are told to be interdimensional, meaning that they go in and out of the dimensions. So because of the fact that they are not always seen, they're shown and then they're gone pretty much right away. So are they interdimensionals? Like aliens? I mean, aliens like the Bigfoot or big feet?
Are they really interdimensional, or are they just going into their hiding space?
But I mean, there's really no hiding space for the aliens.
I'm talking about the big feet.
Oh, I'm not talking about the big feet. They couldn't. I don't know. Now that's another topic for another video.
I mean, the aliens, they could just be cloaking themselves. They could have technology that we don't even know exists
God,
yet.
I wish I had a cloak.
Like
Or
you
the
might,
cloaking
might
thing.
see an alien just sitting here, and then all of a sudden it disappears because it cloaks itself. So,
I wish I'm able to do that.
like
I
Harry
would-
Potter's cloaking
Oh my
cloak.
God, the invisible cloak.
Uh-huh.
Oh my God, yes, that would be a godsend, and like for a teacher gift. So like I can hide away from the kids, but like kind of
Just think of what your kids would do though if they knew you weren't there.
That's exactly what I'm going to use it for, and see how well they act.
You know they wouldn't act very well though. If they thought Miss Scott wasn't in the room, your room would be a disaster.
Actually, no. I mean, majority of my kids, they actually pretty they're good.
So they would sit there by themselves doing their own thing, while the half a dozen or less maybe
Very
kids
less.
that cause a ruckus would just be going crazy.
Well, then I can catch them in the act. Oh my God, that would be so awesome. So if you ever see this, any of my students' invisibility cloak would be an awesome teacher gift next year. So, just saying.
Invisibility cloak. All right.
Oh my God,
we'll
that
try
would be
and add
so cool. I mean, it's pretty much. So, why do you think aliens or the conversation of aliens scare people?
that. No, it's a good question. What do you think?
I asked you first,
I'm asking you second.
but
Second is best.
not really. First is first.
Okay.
So anyway, I think because the fear of the unknown, we are investigators and we investigate the unknown in almost a regular amount of time, right? Like regularly. But I feel like it's an extra fear that there's another being and then we don't know anything about.
Mm-hmm.
Ghosts and demons, there's so many lores and so many documentation pertaining to these entities versus aliens. Yes, we know of them, but do we really know of them? We don't have more information on that.
It's true.
What about you now?
So I think that people are just scared of the unknown. They don't know really anything about aliens other than what people who have supposedly been abducted by them say. So they don't know what to think of them. Are they nice? Are they mean? Are they going to take them away from their families? Are they going to take them up in their little flying saucer and take them out of this universe? Are they going to conduct tests on them so they don't know what to think of them?
I mean, ghosts in itself have possessed people, and the person loses all abilities to move.
Yeah, but there's a lot more even documented cases in lore even about ghosts and spirits and demons than there are about aliens.
True. And the thing is, what kind of really gets me is the government actually takes the extra effort to hide the alien encounters versus ghosts.
I think it's because ghosts are like almost an everyday thing. Because like, let's say you buy a house obviously because we were real estate agents,
Mm-hmm.
and the house happens to be haunted, even if it's not like actively haunted, but you just hear like a knock every now and then, or a door opening without explanation.
Sometimes there is explanation, so don't always believe those
Right.
fakes.
But let's say you can't explain it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then you're going to assume that your house is haunted. Well, the government can't come in and say, your house is not haunted. Trust us, it's not haunted. You're going to assume your house is haunted because you're living there with this stuff. You're seeing this stuff every single day.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to believe some government agency or some government person saying that your house is not haunted. You're not even going to believe us when we tell you your house is not haunted.
But what happens with the people who actually encounter it? Everyday people who have encountered, they've been told that no, there's a simple explanation of what you encountered. The government have told them like.
Well, those people don't believe the government either. They say, no, I have encountered an alien. Screw you. I've been abducted. I'm not going to believe you.
I've been probed.
I'm gonna tell the world whether you believe me or not, and whether they believe me or not. I'm gonna keep acknowledging that from the rooftops.
Mm-hmm.
And we've seen that. And sometimes those people keep telling their story, and sometimes they get locked up in an insane asylum. So.
Mm-hmm. And also about believing their life and just the curiosity about life on other planets, just because of the unknown, kind of thing. So it kind of all comes together, kind of thing.
All right.
So there you have it. This podcast directly on the topic of UAPs and why the government is hiding and now just revealing the secrets of the encounters of the third kind.
Have a good one, guys. We'll see you in the next one.